Hi, my name is Jin Kim, and I'm a filmmaker and multidisciplinary artist. So I've always been creatively and artistically inclined for as long as I can remember. I've been drawing and imagining scenarios and directing my friends on the playground. Yeah, I think it's very possible to be multidisciplinary and to work in a way so that those different disciplines feed each other, but to also, have the discernment and clarity to know what is your soul's work. When it comes to my drawings and paintings, generally speaking, I'm not thinking super hard about it. I'm not trying to intellectualize it too much. For me, I'm just trying to see the color as honestly as I can, see what the light and the shadow is doing, and to just try to make that mark. In a series, I tend to be very interested in moments of tension. I'm really interested in gestures and what they convey to us subconsciously. So during the pandemic, with more time on my hands, I was focusing on writing and other ways I could create two-dimensional art. And I've been working on a series where I think about my obsessive-compulsive disorder and just kind of my own inner and mental space, my spiritual space as well, and how to make those unseeable things a little bit more visible. And so I was looking for some way that I could show kind of this constant struggle that I have internally, and also sort of the path to healing. And so my mother of pearl work might look like it's trying to achieve perfection, but it's really not the case, at least not how I view them. For me, I'm looking for a sense of mental wholeness and just kind of mapping out every shard to create that sense of wholeness. So I started working with Mother of Pearl about just a little over a year ago. So Mother of Pearl is the very, very thin, like it's paper thin layer on the inside of certain shells. If you've seen like abalone shells or certain oysters and things like that. Some of them are really colorful and iridescent, and so that's extracted and pressed, and it becomes like a very brittle, very thin material that you can cut and work with. I have these either sheets or strands of different types of mother of pearl. They're all different colors and different kinds of iridescence and quality. So generally I map out how I want the composition to be overall. So right now I'm using angel wing mother of pearl, and I've already prepared this corner of the surface with sizing, so it stays tacky rather than like normal glue where it's wet and then dries. It dries tacky, and so it's workable for a longer amount of time. And I'm using this blade and just breaking the pieces onto the form. For a given piece, the other side is different. So I'm just making a bajillion little decisions as I go. I've cut and placed it and completed that form. Then I will coat it with some acrylic medium just to seal it in place, otherwise they'll keep moving a little bit. And then depending on if it's on paper or panel, if it's on paper, then I'll have it framed, usually with museum glass, so that you can still see through. There's not a lot of interruptions with reflections, and or I'll use resin on panel. They say that every story has already been told, but the difference is that you haven't existed before, and so the way you tell it is what makes it unique. And I truly believe that. And so I think that's another reason why I work in a lot of different forms of art. I think they all inform each other, and I've been told by some precious artist friends at the Creatives Project, even with my mother of pearl work, they can see the same heart that's in my films. When it comes to film, I generally start with some kind of question. So it's something in life that I notice to be curious. It might be something fairly mundane, but it just strikes me as, oh, that's kind of strange the more I think about it, and that gets me to ask, what if it was escalated to this degree? lot of people talk about the director's vision, right? But I think people don't know that the director's vision isn't the way the movie plays in the director's head the first time the director reads the story. It's not about micromanaging, it's not about making it a super controlled, tight thing, and like the director is the only creative input and genius. You know, I think a good director is a creative lead. I think a good director knows how to communicate well and has the overall heart of the narrative. You have to learn how to communicate in a way that is that gives people power. A lot of it is intuition and discernment. A lot of it is just asking my actors what they need, what they think they need. There are some scenes I've shot that are the actors had to get to a place where their hearts were like truly breaking, you know, for that moment, for the honesty of the character, and it takes a lot to get there. And for me, it's important for me to respect them, to give them that kind of space as much as possible. When I make a film that features Korean American actors, it's not, for me, it's not limiting. You know, I'm telling a story about family at its core. My parents are extremely supportive of what I do. They just want me to do my best and to work hard. They've seen my films, and yeah, it's. Sorry, one second. Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you. I can cry watching movie trailers. I don't usually cry during an interview. But oh. I just get emotional sometimes thinking about my family. Just so thankful for them, and yeah, how much they love and support me. When I was writing Jinju, that was my senior film when I was at Northwestern. I was thinking about my mom and me.
꼬맹아, 너 언제까지 거기 있을 거야? 오케이, 공주님. Come out when you're all done.
And you know, it meant the world to me that my mom was touched by it. I just try to create my work as honestly and authentically as I can. I want to connect with my own heart, and my hope is to connect with others as well. And so I find that I am constantly trying to map out physical manifestations and representations of the inner workings of our hearts.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at aibtv.com. Follow us at Watch AIBTV on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And subscribe to AIB Studios on YouTube.